Hello, this is Jay here and welcome to ED Model Making. You join me with something a little bit different today. Now, let me do some explaining to where I've been before we get started. During the time between usually April and October time, I am very busy with my classic cars, with all my cars in general, because me and my partner, we do shows up and down the country. Showing our cars, working on our cars, cleaning up, it's just an old faff. For those of you who are interested in cars and would like to see what cars I have at the moment in the current collection, please follow the link in the description to my Easy Driver 31 YouTube channel, and you can see all the latest on that of all the cars and what's going on. So that's where I've been at the moment, working with my cars. However, I was also expecting surgery this year. I have a pacemaker, gets changed every 7 years. And yeah, it was due to be changed this year. So that's why I'm here today, basically, because I can't mess with the cars because I'm recovering, I'm healing. I can't drive for about 2 weeks. So I thought, well, let's get working on my next model railway. And this is a model railway that I was actually going to start end of last year when I started Harrow Hill, my BR layout. But I've always wanted to do an O gauge. Now, even though O gauge is more affordable than it used to be about 10 years ago, it's still expensive. So in the end, I went with a cheaper option of building a double O gauge layout, because I had most rolling stock, most of the buildings left over from previous layouts. But no, I've decided this time I'm actually going to build one of my dream layouts. And that's why you join me on Train Sim. Yes, this is Train Sim on the PC, and like I said, I'm not bedridden, but I'm housebound. I can't leave the house. I've got to take it very careful because of infections and everything. And I've just had surgery as well, so I'm not the strongest at the moment. So I've been playing a bit of Train Sim and thought, you know what, this is a perfect way to plan out my next layout. So let me tell you what I want to build. I want to build a O gauge version of a cement works that's completely fictional, set in the late 90s, early 2000s. In O gauge, like I said, I got a 12 foot by 8 foot run to play with, so I got quite some space. It's going to be the perfect layout. It's a shunting layout, obviously, as you can probably tell by the track plan on the screen. This is the basic track plan that I'm going with. I don't know if you can see my mouse on screen, but I will tell you what everything's going to do and how it's going to work. And then if we just spin it around, we'll go to the assets a bit later in this video. But I've also done some footage of the trains running, just to give you an idea how the trains are going to operate as well. So whilst I'm talking over this video, you will see some footage of the trains actually running and doing as I say. So first of all, I haven't got the right assets, but these are supposed to be PCA tankers, but I don't have the DLC for them at the moment. It's something I got to get. And I won't have a class 25, I want a class 33 in BR blue possibly, or a different livery to the right period of the time I'm going for. And I will have a class 08 as the actual shunter to the layout, but I would probably consider an 04 as well, 04 shunter, which will both look quite great, shunting backwards and forwards, moving PCA cement tankers around. So yeah, let's just start with the basics. So if you're into your railways and that, you know how this works. So this track going off here where the train's going through now, this will go off to a non-scenic section that will be the fiddle yard. So there'll be a tunnel roughly across here. The train comes in, comes down the track down here, and then he'll work his way into the loop. He will then leave his PCA tankers and run around, and then wait somewhere in the passing loop here, whilst the Class 08 shunter then picks up the tankers, the unloaded, I should say, they're unloaded tankers. You pick them up, take them down this line here into the head shunt, and then push them back up into this long siding here. Now you've got to bear with me a little bit. Imagine a bunch of buildings down here and everything, you know, you got your loading for the tankers and everything, so that'd be somewhere around this area, and that siding will probably be a bit longer to accommodate all of that. And whilst they are being loaded, these tankers here, which are already loaded, will then be taken up by the Class 08, and he will then shunt them back into the loop here for the Class 33 diesel to then take them back out and off the scenic section of the layout into the fiddle yard, which will be down this track here. And that's basically how it's going to work. Now this siding here is planned to be storage for the 08, as well as maybe one tanker or something else, a fuel tanker maybe, because this is also where the locomotive or locomotive that's come in, like the 33, would refuel. And I plan to have a car park behind the siding here, and maybe an office building or something like that. Then this siding here is purely going to be for storage for extra PCA tankers. Now for this all to work and how I want the layout to run, I'm going to have to buy around 20 to 25 PCA tankers, which is not cheap. You're nearly talking £2,000, because they're around 70 to £100 each. And if I want about 25 of them, you're nearly talking, you know, £2,000, which is crazy. Probably a bit more. But you know, it's not going to happen overnight, and I don't plan on working on it anytime soon, because I'm not going to be able to do the work due to my surgery. So at the moment it's all just planning, but it's definitely something that I'm going to have a go at. There's no rush to sort it, like I said. Now down here we have a bunch of assets. Now this is going to be completely different to what you can buy on the market and what you can buy kits, but it's to give ideas. Like I can place out cars where I want the car park to be. I'm using these concrete blocks, but these would be cement blocks, cement bags maybe, and then we got these bags of gravel, stuff like that, little barrels, containers, maybe a few spares for locomotives like the top of a Class 08, you know, little bits like that. We got a fuel tank, and then just vehicles, buildings, houses, and these are all going to be placed around here. I might even do a video on placing them around, just to give you more of an idea how it's all going to work. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm going to have a go at. I think it's the right time. Like I said, I'm working on my cars from April to October again next year, which is completely fine. I can sort that. And then I'm probably looking at making a start end of next year on the actual layout itself. If I can get a few bits in the meantime, I probably will, but my main priority is the cars at the moment, and I am saving for my dream car, which if you want to see what car that is, again, please check out my Easy Driver 31 channel in the description. But there we have it, guys. I hope that gives you an idea of what I want to do. Sorry if this video is not up to model railway standards, and you know, you was expecting something a bit more from me, but I'm very limited to what I can do at the moment, so it's just a way to get rid of some time at the moment. And I thought, you know, I'd make a cool video, gives you a little bit of an idea what you can expect. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this layout in the future. As mentioned, it's not going to happen overnight. We're probably talking a year down the line until I even start it, but I got time to spare at the moment. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you again soon, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, and yeah, bye until next time.